welcome back to a quick look with the Casual Hour. I'm Chase, that is Bobby, and this is Persona 5 Tactica.
It's time for school, everybody.
It is time for school. By the way, there's flashing screens, bright effects.
Well, that's
this
nice.
is an Atlas game. Oh, I think. No, we don't need to watch that. It's great. It's a good opening movie, but we're good. We'll just get in the game.
Chase, this is Atlas, correct? As you mentioned, they like to do that stuff.
Yeah, this is Atlas. This is Sega, because Atlas is part of Sega. So as you can see, I'm almost 4 hours into this game. This is an XCOM-y kind of game with the cast of Persona 5.
Yeah, I would say that there might be a little spoiler stuff here, not anything crazy. I mean,
yeah, we're doing a story mission here. We're about to load up into. We're in a new world. We're maybe still in the metaverse. It's kind of a question of what's going on.
Yeah.
But your team has kind of been thrown in here. If you played Persona 5 before, this seems like it takes place after the events of Persona 5, but before your main character goes back home. So like you've spoilers for Persona 5. You've killed God.
Yes.
But it's not time for you to go home yet. So they kind of spit you out in here. You're at Cafe LeBlanc, and some shit goes down, and you get thrown into this metaverse. And there's this weird woman who's the kind of queen of this world, or has taken over as queen, and she just wants to get married. And to have the perfect wedding. To have the perfect wedding, apparently, it means to subjugate everyone.
Yes.
So she's really doing that bridezilla stereotype. And the Phantom Thieves are here to stop her, and they get their asses kicked pretty quickly at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
So you actually lose all of your party members, and it's just you and Morgana. And then you have to kind of find some of them again. So we've gotten An and Futaba back on the team. There's a new character named Arena.
Lady An, I believe.
Depends on if you're Morgana or not, but sure. There is also Arena, who is a new character for this. She's kind of cool. She does not use a persona, but she's got some other moves to facilitate that. And actually, you know what? Let's go.
You called out that this was like an XCOM-like, which it absolutely is, because Mario and Rabbids, the game that I was going to call out this being like, is also an XCOM-like, but with pizzazz or with flair. It's I've really grown to like this kind of openness that you're seeing come into these grid-based, turn-based. Because I mean, Persona's been it's a turn-based JRPG, but not a tactical turn-based game like this is.
Like there's strategy to the RPG-ness of it, where you have elemental skills that you're using that can knock down enemies, and you can get extra turns, and baton pass and stuff like that was in Persona 5. And some of those elements are kind of in here as well. But this is, I mean, as you can see, this is grid-based. This is a grid-based tactical game.
This is a casual Monday-ass game.
Yeah, we might play some of this on a casual Monday. I mean, it is also very story-based. So it's not like a fun run kind of thing, or when we play XCOM where it kind of has a story but it doesn't matter. It seems like the story kind of matters here. We'll get into it. We'll save the Velvet Room for later, but we'll start with this squad that we've got.
We are capturing this on the Switch today.
We are.
Okay.
So, we're gonna get more story stuff. So these are, Marie, she's the bride person. She's got these flags set up, and it seems like those flags are what control the
you're going to be fighting two members of the Phantom Thieves. That's what you're all going to see here.
That's correct. Yeah, this is Ryuji and Haru, or Skull and Noir, I think are their code names in here. And so we've got to knock that flag out and get our own flag in there.
Was she... this is going to sound terrible if I forgot. I'm sorry if I forgot. Was she the additional character in Royale?
No.
Or was she in the...
Haru?
Yeah.
No. She's just the end.
That's right.
Of Persona 5. Kasumi is the one who's added in Royal, and she's not in here
strange,
from what
right?
I have seen. It seems strange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a character I know because I didn't play Royal, but she wasn't in Strikers either.
Yep.
There was a character that kind of looked a lot like her in Strikers, but she's not in here either.
Interesting.
All right, so we're here. This is a little Mario and Rabbids style where you can just kind of run around in your space.
Hell yeah.
And you can do as many things as you want within this space until it's time for you to actually take your action. So you can get a decent amount of distance.
You get the fuck around in here, man. I love it.
They do. This is a game a lot about movement.
Yes.
And positioning. And I think that's really cool. I think it also makes it a weird tactics game. It's almost more like a puzzle game than it is a tactics game in a lot of ways. So you can switch characters at any time too. I haven't even taken an action with her, but you can kind of just set these characters up and move them as you want. Characters have two actions, basically two actions they can do. They have their guns. Morgana has a slingshot, and then you also have your personas. In this game, your character has kind of lost the wild card ability that you get in Persona games that lets your main character use whatever persona they want. But you do have... Everybody's got their main personas. So you've got Arsene and Morgana's got Zoro still. But then you can also get sub-personas and equip those to anybody on your team.
And that's like the fusion stuff too. Like...
Yes, you can fuse to get those sub-personas that can give you some different buffs or they can give you some different abilities here. And then these different abilities do different things. So Garu here can move an enemy like this. So this game's also really about cover. This enemy, if I was just going to try to shoot them with the gun... Can I not see him because he's too low? I guess so.
I think that might be the case.
But you can see there, he's got the word resist on him. So because he's in cover, he's going to take either less damage or it's going to block the damage. I think when it's half cover like that, he just takes less damage. But you can use your persona like this to knock him out of cover. And now he's really vulnerable to other attacks here.
So one other thing that they do with that, which is really interesting, and I don't think there's a way for you to show it here. You can just absolutely not do anything on a turn. And if you do that...
Yeah, in fact, you're encouraged to sometimes just end your turn without doing something. I might be able to do something at the end of this turn, so we'll see.
Okay.
One of the other things that's also really wild to me, if you're in cover, you're just in cover.
Yeah.
Nobody can kind of get behind you. So even this, where all the enemies can clearly see me and shoot me, this still counts as cover because I'm next to this box. Like, I don't have to be behind it in that way to get the cover bonuses for that. I think that's really weird. But very useful to just get in the right positioning. So, let's try to shoot this guy. Wait, why is he resisted? Oh, that's Haru.
Yeah.
Where's the guy who...
That you knocked? He's up in front of the flag, I think.
Okay, can I not reach him? I guess I can't reach him.
You might be able to get to him on the other side if you hop back over.
Maybe.
And you can swap between your characters at any time.
Yeah.
With the shoulder buttons if you're playing on a controller. Which, by the way, I highly recommend playing this game on a controller. It plays very well on a controller.
It does play really nicely on a controller. Okay. I don't think this is going to get me what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, because if you knock him, if you hit that barrel, he's going to fly
Yeah, but
back.
I don't think I get my one more based on this.
You didn't attack
try.
With what's her name? Did you?
No, but I'm not in a good spot for this.
Okay.
And this is going to kind of work, but I don't know. I wanted to show off something different that I'm not going to get to show off here. That's okay. But I will kill him. So when you see get him on that enemy, that means I'm going to get one more move after this because I will be able to do a crit. She also has this machine pistol that allows her to hit multiple spaces for a little bit of damage, so that's why she's going to hit all of these things.
And you might be in a really... Oh, did you kill him? No, you're perfect.
Did, but
you got what you need.
I'm kind of, but my other characters are in bad spots. Because the thing that you really want to do with this game is this thing called triple threat. which is kind of like the all-out attacks from Persona 5. And what you can do is where you have people positioned, and it's kind of hard to see there, but you can see there's this triangle being made between. One. Yeah, really acute, and unfortunately, that's just how I had to move members. I would like to get more people in this triangle if possible.
I'd really like for you to be able to get the flag, because that flag, this is the meta for that. So if there's a way for you to sneak this into the flag,
I don't think the flag counts.
It does.
Towards this.
It does.
Okay. Well, I'm not getting it here because when it goes blue, I'm not getting it. So I'm just gonna have to get this big guy.
Okay.
So we'll use our triple threat attack, and that's gonna do a bunch of damage. Maybe even kill this guy.
It also looks really cool. Per usual.
It does look really cool.
Persona's such a fucking good looking style. I love it. But we didn't really talk about the elephant.
Kill that guy. What's the elephant?
The art.
Yeah. So the art is a weird one for me. I love Persona 5's art. I think it looks great.
Same.
I think the Persona 5 dancing game has good art, but it's mostly just the same kind of art as the main game. Persona Q2 that also takes some of the Persona 5 characters.
Yep.
That I kind of like that chibi art style as well.
Strikers had an okay art, right?
Yeah, Strikers was still kind of the normal Persona 5 art. This is a kind of like weird middle ground. And I think sometimes it works. I think it works a lot better in the 2D stuff. You can see in the bottom right corner there with the character icons there. I think it works really well in 2D. I don't know how much I love it here in 3D.
Yeah,
it's growing on me, but I still don't necessarily love it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Like it's better than how I ended up feeling about the artwork what was the Brilliant Pearl? Is that what the remake was that they had for Pokemon?
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl?
Yeah. I did not like the art in that game. I thought they all looked like tater tots. And here, I didn't love it, but it's gotten better for sure.
All right, let's try getting a better triple attack this time. So we're gonna hit this guy with the slingshot. We get our crit. We get a one more. So now it's all about positioning these three characters in the right way.
Yep. So make sure you get the flag.
Yeah, I'm trying. So
that should do it.
That has the flag. Yeah. That has a bunch of people here. So if I'm here,
and that's the really cool thing. What Chase is trying to line up here. Not only are we trying to get the flag, but you can have 4 or 5 enemies, and if you down just one of them, and you can do an all out, like you're getting everybody, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this. There's a guy over here to the right that I'm trying to grab too.
This is that strategy that Chase was talking about, like where it's almost like the positioning is more of the puzzle than it is like an actual turn-based strategy. I love this new. I think this triple threat or this all-out attack is really fucking clever.
It is. The thing that worries me about it is that it's become so much of the game, and it is so overpoweredly good compared to your regular attacks that it feels like less. Here, I'm just going to do it while I talk about it.
You're going to clear out a ton of people here.
Yeah, I'm killing a bunch of enemies. I'm doing a bunch of damage to the flag. Like it's great. It's really, really good, but it's made, especially these first 4-ish hours, it's made it very dependent to the puzzly part of making the setups for this, rather than like an XCOM of, I need to be tactical about where I put my guys and setting them up for good attacks, and it's like, yeah, you can do that, but it's more about hitting people when they are open, and getting them into their knockdown status so you can do these triple threat attacks.
So with these Phantom Thieves members, the reason we're fighting them is they have it's like Batman Forever. They're under a brain control. If you get the flag destroyed, that will free them up. It's interesting how they're approaching it, because you can't kill them and you don't want to kill them. But if you down them, they will stay down for 2 turns and then pop back up. So really, you can definitely get them out of the way, but I would always encourage more of a focus on the key objective, which is the flag. The other thing that we haven't talked about, Chase, and maybe you can shed a little bit more insight on is, I know that you've got a baton pass here, but maybe you can talk a little bit about how they encourage you to switch your party up with some of the rest and stuff.
Yeah. So on one hand, you can if one of your characters dies here, they go back to the bench, and anybody that's on your bench can baton pass in, and depending on the difficulty level that you've set up in the game, they can baton pass into. You get so many baton passes per battle. But also, when you go into a fight, and we're already in this fight, so it's a little hard to tell with this, but if you're in a fight, you can, or if you're not in a fight, before a fight, you can switch out other party members, and whichever party members have not already been in battles recently, you can then have them, or they get extra bonus stats. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of strategize while I'm talking. So
they get...
But yeah, you get these bonus stats when you don't when you aren't in battles.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to set up another triple threat, but I don't think I'm going to get it here.
Yeah, because I think
maybe I should just...
You would definitely get the flag if you did it.
Yeah, I'm just going to focus on the flag.
Yeah.
I think the flag's almost dead anyway.
Yep. And this will...
And that's the whole...
progress this story beat for you.
Yep, there you go.
Awesome. So,
oh, now I need to plant the flag.
Yep, that's her.
Okay.
Her like
Sorry,
big ability that she has.
Excellent. One more victory for us.
So
okay. Other cool things here. So you see on this screen the Kodama and Succubus in the right corner, and those have levels. Those are the sub-personas that I've attached to those guys, but those are not their individual levels. On the left, you'll see there's the Phantom Thieves level. That level is the whole team's experience. So everybody levels up even if they aren't in battle, and everybody gets skills that you can put skill points into. So there really isn't a disadvantage to bringing in whoever you want. And like we mentioned earlier, you actually get advantages for bringing in new people because they'll get boosted stats if they haven't been used in a recent battle.
Yeah, it's a really cool... And you also... We didn't talk about this, but there are win conditions that you can view before you start the mission. And Chase was able to hit all of those, which I think gets you extra XP, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't know if it gets you extra XP or if it gets you extra personas there in the left corner.
That's right.
That might be possible. So this is another thing here, and I'm playing this on a relatively easy difficulty. I'm not playing on the safe difficulty, but I'm not playing it on hard either. I have found this game to be easy, but like we mentioned with the triple threat stuff, it feels like it's so geared towards breaking the game with the triple threats that I very often get low turn counts like this, where it's, I had 8 turns to beat this thing and I beat it in 3, and it's really just, are you able to puzzle out the enemies enough to get the triple threats? And if you can do a triple threat every turn, that's what you want to do, because you're just going to do the most damage that way. And it feels like it might be like they've put the turn counts if you could play this game normally, like using normal tactic strategy, but they've allowed this busted mechanic that you can absolutely just abuse every single turn if you kind of know what you're doing. And that's cool. I like it. It makes me feel like this is a really cool puzzle game in some ways, that I'm really thinking about how to position my characters in the right way to do the maximum amount of damage. But it also just sometimes doesn't feel like a tactics game as much, in that I'm not... Like, I feel like all my characters are kind of the same. I have an attack that can knock an enemy around. I have an attack that can shoot them to get critical. And then I'm just positioning everybody to do the triple threat.
Wasn't there...
Some characters have... What's up?
Wasn't there in Persona like a weakness that you could exploit with Personas?
Yeah, and that's apparently in here. I haven't gotten to a point where it's mattered yet, but there are elemental weaknesses in here as well, and that'll probably start to switch up some stuff eventually. And there are a lot of status ailment stuff too that goes along with things that has not become apparent in the story or in the mechanics of the challenge so far. But at least early here, everybody just feels kind of samey, and I hope that changes. But like the only real difference that I've seen so far is the different skills you get when you end your turn without an attack. Everybody gets a different kind of bonus there, and then the weapons that people use, the ranged weapons people use. So Joker has a pistol that can hit one enemy, whereas Arena has that machine pistol that can hit multiple people in a kind of spread. Skull here, once I get Ryuji back, he's got a shotgun, so he's gonna also do kind of more of a spread attack. But they don't like appreciably change much of anything. But that is still early in the game, so maybe that does change.
Yeah, I think that you're going to start to see like, oh, okay, I need to cover all my bases from exploiting weaknesses, so I need to have definitely a sub persona that offsets and all that. Like I can see that being a thing for sure. I also feel that while it's been easy early on here, they're probably going to start to throw more shit our way very quickly.
Yeah, I believe it. They also they got the whole voice acting cast back, so everybody's still their original voice actors. The voice acting is pretty solid, and I like the new characters of Arena and Toshiro. You just saw really briefly. He's a politician in the real world who got kidnapped here, and you broke him out, and he's annoying, but he's there. It looks like we just saved Haru and Ryuji now by planting this new flag, so I'm sure they're going to get added to the team as well.
I don't know if I trust him, by the way.
Toshiro? Yeah.
No injuries to speak of either.
Not so sure about him.
So you do get some dialogue choices. So far, they have not mattered whatsoever. It's kind of just the RPG trope of whichever one you pick, somebody responds to that one line, and then the story just continues on exactly what they were going to say anyway.
Yeah, it feels like a nicety rather than a necessary thing.
Yeah, you're not. So far, you're not getting social links in this game. You're not getting points towards that kind of stuff. That's not what this is.
But I'm very compelled more than other spin-offs I've played for Persona 5. I also like. I'm sorry for people who. This is my favorite Persona game, by the way. Like I'll call that out. Not this one, but Persona 5. I'm ready for new people. I think that we've done a lot with this crew. Like I'm ready for us to go to a new Persona.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think the Persona fan base is with you as well.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten a lot out of 5, and they're bringing back 3, and they've continued to wring stuff out of 4 as well. And it's like, hey guys, it might be time for 6.
Yeah.
Because they certainly aren't going back and doing anything with 1 and 2. Like those games are old enough where I guess they just don't think anybody cares about them.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess they're trying to make another run at it with 3. They put 3 and 4 out on the Switch recently, and now it seems like there's a big remake of 3 that's in the works as well. But yeah, there's been no real word of 6 at all.
And the others filled us in on what happened.
I will say the story here is pretty light. It's not, you're not getting anything super crazy here.
No.
But it is a lot better than the first Persona Q game. I haven't played Persona Q2, so that might change in that one. But the first Persona Q game I played, which was kind of like a mystery dungeony style game with these chibi Persona 3 and 4 people.
Yeah.
That game was really just what if we brought the broadest character beats of all these characters and just threw them in here. Like Persona 4 was a game about character growth, and those characters were different by the end of the game. And when you got into Persona Q, it's like they forgot any development they had, and they were just the broadest character strokes they were. Sure. Chie likes meat. Kanji's a big meathead.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And in this game, it feels like at least the development is kind of intact. Like they're referencing stuff that happened in the main game. It seems like these are all pretty well-adjusted people. Like they've learned something from the events of Persona 5. So that's a plus, but they are still relatively broad.
Yeah, I think also there's some cool shit. Like I don't know if we can get to it here, but like in the safe room menu, like all the shit that's there from like the store and stuff. I think that's pretty fascinating. I don't know if we'll be able to highlight any of that in this quick look.
We can. I'm probably gonna go back and play this anyway. So let's use the fast forward feature.
Ooh.
And just try to skip through a lot of this stuff and get back to the coffee shop. So yeah, also weirdly enough, and there hasn't been an explanation for it, the Cafe LeBlanc is also in the metaverse. And it's the hideout of Arena and her team, which are the Rebel somebody or else. But yeah, it's just here, and it's kind of barely commented on. It's like, oh yeah, this is the place that we had in the real world. That's weird. Okay.
Right. Is this familiar?
Yeah. Okay. So when you're here, you got a handful of things that you can do. So you can prep, you can change out your party members and learn more about them.
Also, I think that the reason I'm checking it right now, the voice actor that voiced the owner, Sojiro,
yeah.
I think he's passed.
He might have. Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar.
No. I'm sorry. It says he's active.
No?
Yeah.
He's here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
He hasn't shown up yet. He might be in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't come out of the metaverse yet. And it seems like we're kind of stuck here at the moment, so I don't know if we are going to get out. But actually, let's look into skills. Can we? Okay. So each character has some individual skills as well. And you get these points. I don't have enough points to unlock anything. I might have
the points also, like if it says, hey, you've been issued X amount of points, everybody gets those points. So if you're spending points right now for Skull, it's not like you're depleting your points altogether.
That's right.
Everybody gets
and also you can turn them off and on,
yeah.
which I think is really cool too.
It's
just so you're not locked into something just because you picked it.
There's some very smart quality of life stuff in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of nice stuff in here. I don't think the skill tree makes these so far. I don't feel like the skill tree has made the characters feel differentiated enough, because I'm still having that issue where I feel like every character kind of plays the same.
Yeah.
Even though they have a few different things here. So, I'll just unlock a couple of these things. I don't even know what some of these things do. Again, I'll probably go back and play this on myself. But then, what else do you have here? We'll look at that stuff in a second. So you can go to your hideout stuff, and let's go to the Velvet Room.
Yeah. The Vroom.
So the Velvet, yeah, the Vroom's a little different in this game. So the events of Persona 5 happened. You had the two little jailer people before, and now they've combined into Lavenza. So that kind of tells you where the game might be chronologically. But you can still go and fuse personas. You can take two personas here. So let's take Slime and let's mix it with.
Do you know off the top of your head, like from just all your years of playing these games, like, oh yeah, I need this and this to make this? Do you have that locked in?
No. And I think they still kind of switch it up.
Okay.
Most games, and in fact the like what's weak to what also kind of changes on a game-to-game basis. I know the elemental weaknesses for something like the Shin Megami Tensei games and the Persona games are different, and I think even in this game they're different. So just because you see an enemy that you go, oh, I remember that enemy, it was weak to lightning, I should use Zeo on it. In this game that might not be the case.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
There's also a much smaller amount of personas in this game. They definitely don't have every single persona brought in here, but you can grab them, and you can still have some skilled inheritance, so you can pick a move that you want them to keep. So these circle ones are the passives, and then let's give him Bufu, just so I've got some other elemental stuff. And then this has a nice cutscene with it. As you can see, Lavenza put these things together. The fusion is a little bit different here.
It's like a pressed penny.
Yes. Yeah. Also, I don't know why you throw gears into the superheated metal. That's not how gears work, but okay.
Tell that to Cliff.
Uh-huh. But yeah, hey, we have a fused Mokoi
And
now.
you can put that on anybody, which is really cool.
Correct.
Which
Yeah,
I know.
so
I think you
could-
mentioned that like the subs. I think you might have mentioned that with the sub ones, but a reminder, you can build these out and give them to anybody, which is really cool.
Yep. So Ryuji, he can take Mokoi now, and Haru, we can just give her somebody. So yeah, everybody can have a sub persona. She also has weapons for you to buy. They mentioned that the airsoft gun guy isn't around, but
Get smoked.
she's able to sell you weapons. And I don't have any weapons to dismantle now, but instead of just keeping all your old shitty weapons, you can just trade them in for a little bit of money.
That's a nice thing.
Although weirdly enough, you can't buy weapons here, but she still sells them to you on your phone out in the hideout, which I think is
She's got a burner.
Quality of life, not
she
great.
wants to keep it under the radar. I get it.
I guess so, but again, like just it feels like there's so little friction to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
That that point of friction feels weird to have to go into the prep menu or which menu was it? Was it prep? No. It was.
I don't know if it's just the placement
back
right
in
now,
hideout, and then to shop.
There we go.
And now I can go to weapons.
Okay.
And now I can go to Ryuji, and I can buy a different shotgun for him. And the weapons so far, when you get upgrades, it seems like your choices are either to get a bunch more damage or to get a little bit more damage but more range.
Yeah.
I generally am liking the extra range, so I end up picking more of those weapons up.
My first.
So now I
my
just
first
equip
one's more
that.
damage. I think the next round I'm gonna do range.
Okay. So I picked that up, but I can't sell my old weapon now. I'd have to go back to the Velvet Room to
that's
dismantle
dumb.
the old weapon, which is just like that's kind of a weird one. Why would you do that? That seems silly to me.
Everything good? Okay. You have a thanks for your purchase.
So buy some weapons,
Best of luck out there.
and then let's head back in there. You can also go and do these quests, which are individual missions, and they can give you specific points for different characters. So I can get them some for the main character and arena there by completing this.
Yeah.
All these quests, in fact, all of the main story missions right now, all the combat stuff is really short and bite-sized.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into the missions, though, it's usually like a set of 2 or 3 or 4 fights back to back to back. But they're all really short ones. Like this is not like an XCOM where you're going to be playing on the same field for, turns and turns and turns. You're so far the highest turn count I've seen is like 8, and I'm still beating those levels in like 3.
Yeah.
So they're really really short levels.
I
We're
like
not going to
that.
do the talking stuff, but there are also these side conversations that you can do that get you some extra skill points as well by doing them. A lot of talking that goes on in here. There is also like a codex of things that you probably already know if you've played Persona 5, but if you haven't played Persona 5 for some reason and picked this game up, it does kind of give you a heads up on who a lot of these characters are and what they're about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's kind of the game. You can go back to old levels and grind out experience and money if you want. But I haven't found a real need for that so far. It's been a pretty chill game.
Totally.
And I like it. I'm having fun with it. I don't think I'm enjoying the tactics part of it as much because of like what I said. I feel like it is all really hitting hard to try to get that puzzly element of how do I set up the triple threat every single turn, and less how do I set up an effective team. But even so, I think that is a fun challenge in and of itself, and is making this game relatively enjoyable. And sometimes, it's just kind of fun to go back and be with the characters that I like. I do hate that they are apparently leaving Makoto for the end.
I know.
She was my favorite, and I want her back now.
She's best girl.
Yes. Also sucks that they're pairing her up with my least favorite character. Apparently,
he's not good.
I forgot. I even forgot his name because I
Fox.
hate him so much. Yeah, Fox is his code name. I can't remember his real name, but the artist guy. Anyway, Bobby, that's Persona 5 Tactica. I think it's pretty good. It's it's fine. I can't find. I think this game is too new so far. I haven't found anybody talking about how long it is.
Oh yeah, I can
It
check.
feels like it could be long.
Yeah, I think that it could be short or long, and I would not be surprised at all. Persona 5 Tactica, how long to beat?
Like howlongtobeat.com does not have a time on it so far. As the time of this recording.
Let's see here. The game creator says that this will take 30 to 40 for the main, with most players averaging 35. And to complete absolutely everything the game has to offer, it will take players 45 hours. Our own playthrough took roughly 30 hours to beat.
That's a good amount of time. I mean, base Persona 5 took me around 100, so shorter than that, but that's pretty long for like a side.
Oh yeah,
side story tactics game.
100%.
Sure.
Chase,
that's about it.
Yeah, man.
That's
I
all I got.
appreciate you driving. If you all enjoyed this, you can tune in, as we talked about, on Monday nights at 9 p.m. on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, where you will watch Chase and I play video games a lot like this. And if you're into what we have to say about games, you can find us alongside our other co-host Johnny every Wednesday at 9 on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. And we put up quick looks like this one twice a week for the most part, usually in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on Friday, Johnny and I gets back together for our live streams of flavors of the week games that we usually say we're going to play and play something else. So you'll find us live on Fridays, Mondays, and Wednesdays, depending on who is there. Chase, thanks again for driving. This was a lot of fun, and we will see you all online later on.